back, everyone, to Point Shot. My guest today is Dirty Curt Wolf. How you doing, Dirty?
I'm doing good. As good as can be expected with all this virus going around.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. So you were supposed to retire and didn't.
Well, with everything happening the way it is, what can you do? You can't play quaits, so there's nothing to do. So I figured you can't go out. You can't go out to dinner. You can't do any, functions like quaiting or anything else. But figured I might as well go work for a little bit longer until things square away a little bit. Economy comes back a little bit, and company allowed me to do it. So I'm going to hang in there for probably until maybe October now.
Wow. Yeah. You're in the opposite position. A lot of people, the quarantine knocked them out of work and it knocked you into work.
Well, kind of, yeah. So I'm in the office, but we're doing, we try to have people set up an appointment to come in there to load up trucks and stuff. But I'm thinking probably within another week or two, I think they're going to start pushing up construction again. So we'll probably be back in action pretty quick here, I think, but still have to take precautions the whole time.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's going to do to our game as far as tournaments are concerned. When we'll be allowed to play in a big group like that again, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not looking good for now. Hopefully within the next two months or so, hopefully things get to the point where people can get back out and get together and everything and throw some weights again.
Yeah. Well, are you throwing at your house? You have pits at your house, I know, that are well worked in.
Yeah, occasionally I'm out there, but the weather's been so up and down with the rain and everything. So I've thrown some, but not a whole lot.
Yeah.
You.
It's been a little chilly.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely.
So let's get away from the quarantine. Just go way back in time. When did you start throwing quaits? You're like a million years old. So.
Well, it's funny. I was throwing as a kid, probably 8-10 years old, with my brothers and my dad and everything. But back in the day, you dug pits, but you really didn't dig a pit. You just stuck a pin in a hole and marched 21 feet apart. We never wetted them or anything, and it would get to the point where you would throw the quake, you would slide that thing in like a foot and a half, and everybody would throw like that, and you just walk over and see whose quake was the closest. So there wasn't a whole lot of, you didn't have to be real accurate like you do when you wet the pits and you have the clay pits. You just kind of slop them in there, and it's kind of how I started out. And actually, when I started throwing these tournaments, it was a big eye opener because I never threw in clay pits.
Wow.
So it was a struggle for me it was pretty much relearning the game, that you had to throw and make sure you hit where you wanted to hit instead of just sliding them in there. So it was a big eye opener when I started hitting the first ones. So a little tough to get started.
You did a pretty good job relearning the game. Because you're one of the toughest guys out there. And many people I've spoken to so far comment on, they'll say like, well, between games, there's a bye, I sit down. Not like Curt, not like Dirty. Like Dirty, he don't stop. Him and Cece, they don't stop. They just throw, even when they're not playing, they're playing, Yeah,
it's hard for me just to sit around like that. I can't do it. I see the quates there, and I'm struggling or anything, or I want to try another shot or something, I'll get out there and just keep throwing and get ready for the next one. That's just the way it is for me. I can't sit down,
Yeah. If you don't mind talking about your shot, I hear you say that a lot. All right, I'm changing shots. Things ain't working. And all of a sudden, bang, you start banging people around. What do you mean when you're changing shot? Is it your grip? Is it your stance? What do you do? What are you changing?
It's pretty much the way I grip the quake. Sometimes I'll use that little slot there for your finger, but not often. Other times, I just kind of hold it flat in my hand and have my thumb right there in the back of that quake and then throw it more flat. sometimes I'll take and maybe I'll push it a little bit instead of throwing it. You know, it's like 3 or 4 different ways that I throw. And when I'm throwing and things aren't working, I'll try one of the other shots, you know.
Yeah.
And certain shots allow me to throw it farther. And there's a certain shot that I will, a push shot, if I'm throwing downhill, I'll use more of a push because you don't want the quoit to go far. So you launch it like that and it doesn't go as far, and it makes me more accurate that way, you know?
Yeah. So that's the answer to why you're always throwing, because you know all these, you got all these different things dialed in. A lot of guys have one shot, you know, you're like a 5-tool pitcher. You got all the shots. That's awesome, man. Well, you've had a lot of success as well. You won Apple Fest a couple years ago, I think, right?
Yeah, me and Robert won that a couple years ago, and that was one of my biggest accomplishments, I think, was that one there. You know, that's back when Beeve was in the house yet, and we had to get past Beeve, and that's always tough. You know, the guy was really tough, and you know, it was just one of those things. And me and Robert were hitting, and we didn't back off. I mean, if you back off, these guys are going to take you out. You know.
Yeah.
You got to go after it and hope that if they top you, you're going to top them back. And, you know, that's kind of how you have to go, you know, go after them, you know?
So, yeah. And that's always a big tournament, Apple. So there's always a big turnout for that one.
Right. Right. So yeah, we enjoyed that. Had a lot of fun. Did I expect to win it? No. Was I, you know, I wasn't going to let down, but I didn't really expect to win it. You know, there's a lot of tough people out there. It's getting tougher all the time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's hard. Everybody's good now. There's no easy games. Not like it was, even 20 years ago, people were good, but it was a slightly different game. You know, it's changed.
Right.
Yeah. And we see it too on Thursday night. You and I throw together on Fritz's Island, and geez, I don't know. You've been throwing with us now probably 10 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
Long time. But, you know, at one point it was maybe me, you, and 4 other guys. And now, like, we have like a dozen guys. Some weeks, 16 guys show up outside.
Well, yeah. And just think how it's going to be when everything gets back going here. I think there's going to be a lot of hungry people out there, you know.
Yeah, I think that first tournament back's going to be huge.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
The same, you know, everybody's improving. I mean, even, take you, for instance, you know, I mean, you and Carl with your chopper shots. I mean, you guys are amazing with those chop shots in the front, but now you're a double threat because now you're topping people, and it, you know, kind of pisses me off, but, you know.
Well, you know what? That's a product.
Right on the ringer throwing too, you know.
That's a product of environment, because you go out throwing point shots Thursday night, and I got Kyle Kramer and Shooter and you, and then, you know, Keeb shows up and Danny Carter, and you know, point shots aren't going to get you to the end of the night. You got to be able to hit some hooks from time to time. Hopefully when somebody's on.
Right.
Yeah, it's good, man. You have any you mentioned the Apple Fest as your biggest like quating accomplishment, but is there any one moment that like stands out from that you think about with quates, like maybe a specific shot you might have hit or anything like that?
Well, you know, I wasn't even in a tournament. I've thrown two 12s already, but none of them have been in the league. You know, that was a big accomplishment. You know, getting 4 quates on that pin. You know, some people have a lot more than me, and other people maybe don't have any that are a really good shot. You know, but that was a big accomplishment.
You hit for the quad.
And I think last year it was either the Peach or the Apple, I had the opportunity to do a 12 again, and I just kind of clicked off the top and just missed it. That probably would have put me over the top. You would have heard some screaming then. But didn't happen.
It's hard. There's not much pin left, but by the time there's already 3 quates on there, you know?
Right. And it actually lost the game for me that, you know, that I did that. But we won the next 2 and we moved on. So
that's good. Wait, so you hit the 2 quads in your career, not in tournament play, but you hit them. Who'd you hit them against?
I hit one against Shooter, and then the other one I think was just with a bunch of friends.
I thought it was going to be Kyle Kramer because he says everybody who ever hit a 12 hit it against him.
It could have been Kyle. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's tough. That's tough. I've only had a couple looks at him. I haven't landed one yet. Maybe someday.
Yeah.
That's odd, you know.
Yeah, it's got to be God's, but he's got to be on your side to make sure you get 4 on there, and the pin's got to be perfect, you know.
Yeah, maybe even get lucky where it's curved out a little and it's a little taller than it should be or something.
Right.
So
I like the big pins. I like those tall pins.
Yeah, I like a hammer. I like to smack them babies down. I like them tiny so I can stand the quaid up and block it from you guys.
Yeah, you do that a lot.
I try. It's not easy to do every time.
You got to waste a quaid to knock that down the first one, so you got room for your second one. You know?
Yeah, I know. It's a strategy game sometimes. I'll take 2s. I'll run 2s back and forth if I can. You know, especially if I'm against a guy like you, I'm not trying to put that first quaid. I'm not trying to ring the first quaid.
No.
Because that's a good way to lose real quick.
Right, exactly.
So it looks like you got a lot of dead animals on the wall back there. What's going on, man? Is that a moose?
Yeah, the moose is in the middle there. I got that in Yukon back in late 80s. And then elk, there's an elk up top there. I got that with the bow and arrow that's probably 10 years ago now.
Wow.
I got that in Wyoming. The other one, the moose, was in the Yukon. Whitetails, got some from my backyard. I got the largest one I have there is from Texas.
Wow. I know you let them go. You let some deer go that other guys would shoot because they're not big enough.
I haven't killed a deer now in probably 4 or 5 years, but I could have killed a bunch of buck, but nothing I really wanted to kill. Nothing that really pissed me off enough to shoot.
That's good. That's one thing you don't want to do when you hear Curt say, "Oh, now you pissed me off." I hear you say that. Oh, that guy's in trouble, man. I don't know. That being angry don't help me. It seems to fire you up, man. I never try to piss you off, but it happens sometimes.
That's just a way of getting myself cranked up so I start doing better, I think.
Oh my God. When you hit someone for a big shot, man, it's the funniest shit that I've ever seen. Your whole body goes flying all over the place and you're screaming and yelling. I remember one time you yelling at Sean Hirsch, hitting him for a 9, screaming at him, "How dare he try and take your points?" Oh my God. You're a madman.
Oh, it's a fun time. A lot of good people, a lot of fun times throwing, you know.
It really is. Really is. So I'm going to try and wind this up here. I've been asking everybody the same question. I'm building up a team. I'll read you the list if you want before you answer, or you could just shoot from the hip. But any celebrity, living or dead, you can bring out, be your partner at a Quake tournament. Who you got?
What was that again?
Any celebrity at all, living or dead, you can bring out to a Quake tournament, be your partner, throw it all day long. I got 8 people already picked. I'll give you the list if you want to hear it.
Let me hear it.
All right. You got Drew Brees, Donald Trump, The Rock, Sandra Bullock, Christopher Walken, Rodney Dangerfield, Robert Plant, and Willie Wondrous. Jerry picked Willie.
How about Muhammad Ali?
Ooh, fly like a butterfly.
Yeah,
I like it.
Sing like a bee.
You be talking some smack. Nobody's going to talk more smack in the pits than the champ, than Muhammad Ali.
Right.
That's a good one. I love it, man. Good pick, Dirty.
All righty.
Good to see you, my friend.
All righty. Good talking to you, Tim.
You too. I miss throwing quates. I hope to see you soon.
Yep, same here. Take care, man.
All right. Sometimes you got to take the point. See ya.
See you. Bye.